Is that the woman you want, or is that the woman who validates your ego because now you feel like you helping? Big dog, some of y'all just be out here with f***ed up women just so you could say you fixed something. Just for you could say you leading something. Just for you could say you built something. Because a woman who got all her own together, you can't come in and have a plan for her. You feel? Nah, hold up.
Welcome to Truth Talks. What up, fam? I'm your nephew, Willie Moore Jr. And that clip you just saw is about savior man syndrome and broken women. So tonight on the show, we're going to break down what's more widely known as Captain Saber HOE. Sorry, baby, that's just not me, okay? In this day and age, does a man really need to save a woman by fixing her problems, or is he doing it just for his own ego? Let's talk about it. To be honest, guys, it's about to get lit, so keep it right here on Truth Talks. Flat out.
And welcome to our show, Truth Tellers. I'm your host, Ryan Cameron. I'm excited to share my thoughts on the stories y'all are all talking about. And as always, I got to introduce my super duper co-host. You know, first of all, you just heard from me, Willie Moore Jr.
Hey family, Willie Moore Jr. here, radio host extraordinaire, and today it is all about the truth. You're going to hear a whole lot of flat out truth, so keep it locked right here, flat out.
And also Bree Renee.
Hey y'all, I'm Bree Renee, straight from the A, radio, television personality, actress, producer, influencer, and you might see me all over your screens, whether they the big screens or the one in your hand. Okay, and today I'm on the most important one with my Truth Talks fam, talking all things truth. Hello.
And last but not least, Dr. Viral herself.
What's up,
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
It's your favorite doc, Dr. Bryant. Listen, y'all know I be cooking, but tonight I'm gonna cook, serve, so y'all better be ready to eat, because we doing it tonight.
Let her cook.
Let her cook.
That's your theme thing, right? You use that a lot.
I use it
Like
on
they let it-
all
They
of
gonna
my
have to
little
give you-
shows.
Oh,
we got lots
Y'all
to-
gotta get
We
together.
gotta get it
You wanna
cooking
glow?
tonight.
Yeah,
All
glow,
right.
glow.
We'll talk about Savior Man Syndrome and later on in our show. But first, Bree, you gotta let them know what's going on in Hollywood today.
You already know I got you covered with the trending truths. It's official, y'all. Jamie Foxx Netflix special, What Had Happened Was, will be hitting our TV screens next week on December 10th. So get your popcorn ready because he is dishing out all the truth. Jamie says he's bringing the truth on stage and talking about his health crisis and the crazy Diddy poisoning rumors. Jamie made his comeback to the stage right here in Atlanta, Georgia back in October, so I'm excited to see it.
I'm really excited about this one. The Oscar winner showed a lot of love to the Peach State and thanked Atlanta for making him feel at home after 18 years of not being on that stage. Jamie also said, when you dream about what you're going to be, you don't dream of tragedy. You dream the lights, the camera, and the action. But when tragedy happens, you really need family you can lean on. The people in this clip put their lives on neutral to make sure I can continue to live a dream. Do you really think right now Jamie has it? And what are your expectations of this beautiful comedy special? Can I be honest with you? I'm so excited about this special.
Me too.
He was the first guy that I had ever seen be a comic and then get on the piano, because I play piano. And when he hit that Mary, Mary, quite contrary, I was like, Lord have mercy. I was singing that to all the girls. So I'm just excited about Jamie, man, to come back the way he's doing. Like, he's the only person that I think is closely correlated that I looked and said, man, I want to do that.
Yeah, I think comedy is the evergreen talent. Like, I don't think you ever lose it. If you're funny, you're funny, no matter how old or how long you've been away from it. So I'm excited to see it. And I really want to know if, like, I want to hear about the cloning. I want to hear about him getting sick. Because, you know, for a minute, everybody was like, Jamie Foxx been cloned.
That's not Jamie.
Right. I want to know what he got to say about that. And I want to know about the DDT. So I'm going to be watching.
Yeah,
But the
you know,
DDT, I don't know.
The way I think Jamie's funny. I'm excited for his comeback. Anytime somebody goes through a health scare like that, I feel like the comeback for them is even more of weight and nervousness, because he wants to be able to deliver, right? And he wants to be able to show people supporting him and his previous fans that I still got it. And the health scare ain't nothing to play with, so I'm rooting for him. I mean, I'm gonna support him, and I just know he's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say this. I mean, I know we want to go for it, but I mean, Jamie's a very dear friend of mine. We both Sagittariuses. And
Lord.
Jamie and I got started together at the Comedy Act Theater back on 8th Street many, many years ago. He wrote a lot of stuff that I did on BET's Comic View.
Wow.
And he actually sent me a voice note after I sent him a message. He's part of what we now call a second chance club, all right? TD Jakes is part of the second chance club. A lot of other people, when you have your life all kind of directed in a certain way, and then God comes in and hands you a second chance, you look at things a different way. You know, Jamie came in here for 3 nights in, Atlanta. He did 3 different versions for this Netflix special, and he talked about a lot of things, and he shared a lot of things. So as somebody who knows about the Second Chance Club personally, I know he's going to be great, and he's going to kill it, all right? So that's what I wanted to just jump in there and say that right quick, all right?
I love it.
All right, singer Summer Walker is having a hard time being away from her children. She hasn't seen her kids in a month because she's currently working on her 5th album. So she posted a photo of a collage that she put together to help her cope with her mom guilt. Aww. Summer wrote in an Instagram caption, "Women should really not have to work if it requires them to be away from their kids. This is so trash." Aww. Does she bring up a valid point? Should working moms be offered special privileges?
Yes,
yes.
I think that working moms should be offered lactation rooms so that they can lactate and they can breastfeed. They should also be offered the option to work remotely, even if it's partially throughout the week, right? Because time with your child is important.
Absolutely.
Learn behavior is important between those years of 1 and 5. Also, lenient leave for family emergencies. Because as a mama, that's real. Not just family emergencies for the child, but for the mother who may be drained and also experiencing some of the postpartum that a lot of women don't even know that they're going through, but they're experiencing on and off the job. I think it's very important.
I was gonna say that a lot of people don't realize that postpartum, it ranges. It can go from months to years for some people.
Right.
And a lot of things, like when I was researching things that can help with postpartum, is getting active rest. So like you said, even if it's just being able to take a me day, even if you're not dealing with the kids, just to go home and take a nap while the house is quiet. I think you deserve that as a mom.
In Canada, I think they get 6 months. Ladies get 6 months off. Paid, everything is good. But in her case, Summer Walker, like I worked with artists who had just had children. We were writing their album. We were doing those things. And they would bring their children in and they would run out. They would have time. I think that's just a personal choice for her. It's not like she got a job where she got to clock in.
And you got to think about it, like having a child is like trying to charge your laptop from your phone. Like you're literally having the life sucked out of you for 9 months, and then you want me to get up and go to work now, and now the job's sucking the life out of me. Like I need a break. So I think she deserves it. All working moms deserve it.
I have a friend who's a OBGYN, Dr. John Liu. He's a specialist down in Augusta, and he said back during the Holocaust, they actually did experiments on pregnant women to see if they could starve them and see how much they would have to go through, and they thought that would happen with the baby, that the baby would be malnourished, but the baby was sucking so much out of the mother that they came out fully healthy and totally normal. But he was like saying when a woman gets pregnant, a lot of times the baby is trying to reject it. So when all these things are happening, for postpartum, there is no blueprint on how to deal with it. And like you said, it goes from different kind of ranges. But he was saying like the mother, if she is able to bring that birth to term, that baby's going to be strong, and it doesn't matter what kind of things they throw in front of it. But after the birth is when they have the issues.
Yeah, and I did see that the strongest indication of how a child will turn out is how happy the mom is. So even when it comes to working, like you said, resting, taking care of herself, like all those things are really important. Well, actor Orlando Brown is known for his trolling antics, child. But this time around, he touched on a subject that's making some folks say, He was recently a guest on Deshae Frost's Twitch stream, and he discussed his experience with acting in the industry. Let's take a look.
They seem to want to do acting, or they seem to want to do some cool stuff, man, like, you know what I mean, put themselves in the spotlight, but it just always turns down to their booty hole. And when they booty hole get involved, it be like, yo, man, nah, man, because everybody wants your ass, right? So that means stay independent. Man,
I just love when people say booty hole. I don't know why. It's so funny to me.
Ray J said. People at getting their booty hole snatched.
And that's what I'm saying. This actually goes back to that conversation like that we had with Ray J and that conversation we had about the casting couch. You know, we discussed it right here on the show. If you missed it, go back and watch it on YouTube. But do you think that there is some truth to what Orlando Brown is saying? Or do y'all feel like he just need to take a break from doing interviews?
It's like Kanye West. Sometimes, you know, you really don't know what you get, but it's always an underlying foundation of some form of truth through his entertainment.
Listen, y'all, I just feel like I think that throwing the booty hole term around for a lot of men, honestly, a lot of men who are not into the booty holes, I think it's tiring and it needs to stop. It's like it needs to be thrown around if you're referring to something that you're really talking about, a topic that makes sense. But to throw it around in a way to just try to go viral or to have a conversation that's going to start this narrative or this rhetoric about black men and booty holes and that, I feel like that needs to be shifted to the left. It's just starting to become too much and redundant.
But Dr. B, I think that he was trying to shed light on the fact that that is happening in the industry, that a lot of people are having to give up that booty hole to get to where they want to get. And we talked about it, even Ray J mentioned it, like it's very common, it's just not shed, it's not much light shed on it in the industry. And it does have to be talked about in order to be stopped.
They shedding a lot of light on the booty hole, all on the internet, and I just think that it's time for the booty hole to take a break.
Pause. Okay, listen.
If you want to talk about sexual abuse, talk about sexual abuse.
Right.
But to just drive it as though it's just the booty holes are getting driven and taken.
Yeah.
Okay, Ray J coined it. He did it first. Let's let it stop there. All the booty hole talk within the black male community, unless you like the booty hole, stop talking about the booty hole. I'm over this.
Here's the thing about it, is right. When Orlando is saying these things, this is the most litigious society there is, right? The stuff that he's been accusing Bow Wow of, that he's been accusing Nick Cannon of, you should be ending up in somebody's courtroom because this is defamation. And we haven't been able to see those things yet. So you got to say, well, you know, if somebody's saying all these things about you, the next thing you're going to do is like, hey, I'm going to sue you. You saw what happened with Tasha K and everybody else. They will come and get that money. So if they're not coming to get that money, what's really going on?
Yeah.
That was pretty good, Ryan. I didn't really see it how you seen it until you said it how you said it.
And I have one question I want to ask our viewers, male and female. What is the obsession with the booty hole? Bree says she just likes when people say it. I want to know, what is the obsession with the booty hole? Please tell me. Lord have mercy.
And do y'all think there is any truth to what he's saying? Let us know in the comments.
I like that.
Up in that lawsuit. I don't know.
Underlying truth.
It's some truth in every joke.
Well, we're going to come back because it's time to get into something else, all right? Other than what Bree likes. Okay,
thank you, Ryan.
Up next, we're going to be politicking, so keep it right here to True Talks.
I know my children are cringing right now.
Man.
They're like,
no, booty, huh?
Daddy.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on, man, let's split a ride home.
All right, it's time for some real truth talks.
Man.
Twitter used to be the digital cookout, where black voices thrive, challenge narratives, and set global trends. But now, with Elon Musk relegating on Twitter and aligning himself with Donald Trump, has the time come for us to really pack our bags and leave black Twitter behind? Or do we stay and fight for the space we created? So take a look.
So, announcement, I am about to delete my Twitter.
I don't know about y'all, but I am closing my Twitter account.
Users of X, formerly Twitter, saying they're done with the platform on the eve of a big change. Tomorrow, the company will adopt new terms of service that explicitly state, by using X, you're agreeing to let your post be used to train AI, with seemingly no way to opt out.
That means that if you've posted some text, a photo, a video, that X can suck that up and put it into its large language model training database.
So X could then know personal information about you and even create content using your image.
Crazy.
Even prior to these new terms, the day after the election, X lost more users than any day since Elon Musk bought it in 2022.
There are a few things fueling this exodus. The first is the change of terms of service. The other is just the presence of Elon Musk.
Y'all, I mean,
Jeez.
us black folks, we are the most cancel culture community, boy. Anything that somebody jump on that we don't like, we canceling them, we canceling each other. I just think X is such a big media outlet that we need to be able to stay on that to drive our black narrative as to what that narrative is that we want it to be. I feel like us backing out of it, I mean, it's not that it would be bad, but we use that a lot, I do. And then I also use AI. So a lot of the stuff that X is using AI to train them with, I use AI for a lot of different things, for my merch website. So, you know, I'm just into the new technology, and I think we need to use that as a narrative to create what we want to be said in our black community.
Yeah,
But what if
I'm an early adopter.
You're an early adopter?
Like you. I mean, on Instagram, I'm one of those people that they use AI to answer some of my questions when people send me DMs. When I have a story, if I can't find it on anywhere else, if I go to X and I type in the subject matter, somebody is talking about it. It is the only way that I can verify if something is real or fake. Now, I understand the problem is everything pornographic is also on X.
Oh, that thing is definitely Web X.
It is.
X. But I
triple
do got to tell everybody, especially to the people out there who are using social media just to be social. Like, if you choose to use it as a business tool, stay on it. Because what you're attempting to do is bring people into your ecosystem. I told my team this week, I said, listen, we have to pull them off of these social media platforms. Because here's the part that you don't understand. If this works and it doesn't take such a big backlash fall, then look forward to Instagram, Facebook, and other social media mediums to fall right in line with this. So at the end of the day, you got to make sure that you have your own tribe. Like, I salute Dr. B, I salute you, and I salute you, because you guys have created your own tribe. We call it the Faithful 5,000. So we have 5,000 people every single quarter to spend $20. We can continue to win, right? So make sure you build your tribe.
Yeah, I actually am against it. I think that he's using it because y'all are looking at AI, the tools that help us, but they're also tools that are going to work against us, especially as creatives. They're going to be using AI to like recreate our voices, recreate our images, and push products. I have personally been a victim of that. I've had AI use pictures of me to sell products that I never ever took pictures in. They would like literally just take my body and slap it on some on Temu and on Amazon, on them China websites. What is it, AliExpress? And now I'm selling clothes that I never ever had on.
You shouldn't be so fine. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
You shouldn't be so fine.
But I think we should all like definitely join together and pull back. The issue is I don't think that we all gonna ever get on the same.
You can't stop AI.
I
mean, right now it's my son's minor at the University of Miami. And
damn, that's
it's
a
his
minor?
AI.
What's the minor?
I love it.
It's like going into marketing and strategizing and all of it. I mean, it's being offered now in college courses. You can try to fight it. You can either run with it or run from it.
Artificial intelligence.
But sis, they gonna use your pictures though. Just keeping it 100.
They are.
Flat out.
But
Black
send
Twitter.
me some coin from it, okay?
Coin. So Black Twitter made Twitter relevant. We put it on the map. Are we empowering them by staying and giving them rights to our content? Do we believe that this is something that should happen? Like Bree, they're using her face and her likeliness and not giving her no coin. I think we're all kind of clear.
This would make sense if we went all around trying to see all these black people in these Cybertrucks. and in these Teslas. It's the same damn owner.
Well,
Elon Musk owned all of these things, and ain't nobody going out. I saw a Tesla truck parked on the side of the road the other day, and I was like, well, what fool did not know that the battery was about to go dead?
Right.
I mean, so
The
they got the robot, and we are the first person. Casanat had a robot, Kim Kardashian had a robot, and we are the ones who go into this culture, and we help make the man rich. So why are we gonna get off of X when we got Tesla trucks, Teslas, and Cybertrucks and robots? What's the difference?
I think we're the only people that's putting it online. Surely African American people and black people ain't the only people buying robots and Tesla trucks.
Yeah.
I think we are the loudest group of people right now.
And that's what
we the
Nick
ones
Shaw said, that we be the first people to go out and tell everybody, look at me, instead of operating like
and
Lil Wayne and lasagna.
We're the biggest consumers. We spend 90% of what we make, and the 10% we don't even save.
That's true.
And so being the biggest consumers, like Rye said, we are the ones buying up the first innovative things that come out. We are usually the ones that are trying the first innovative AIs that come out. But then we're also the first to come in and say, we're going to counsel you, we're going to pull back, and then go back and buy it and not pull back.
I think the issue is, too, that we don't ever have ownership in these companies and equity. Like, when you think about Blue Sky, that's where that's a platform that Kerry Washington was behind. Also, she put a lot of money into Spill. But then I even think about Isaac Hayes III, who created Fanbase. And he tried to rally us behind it, and his platform was like Instagram, Twitter, all of them put together, and he was actually paying the creators more money and giving you the actual exposure that Instagram and Twitter are making you pay for to get. So I feel like if we really want equity and inclusion and ownership, we gotta back each other and back our own platform.
Yeah, that's why Ryan's son is getting his degree in AI, because he's gonna come out and own some AI stuff, and we all can invest in them stocks.
That's right.
That's how you support.
I mean, we all have. I use chatbot. I'm sorry. Because if I was in a situation and I was speaking to a tough crowd, and I knew there was going to be a tough crowd. I mean, we all know sometimes you just got to read the damn room. And I was like, I don't know what they want me to say, but I went to chat. I was like, hey, this is a very non-receptive crowd, and I need to make them laugh. It was a whole bunch of like mainstream Americans, and I was speaking to a board, and they gave me like 30 jokes, and they was on the floor, and I was like, chatbot.
Right.
Chatbot.
So what I want to ask y'all is this about free speech or control?
It's a control for sure. I think that he's using his control as the owner of this platform to push out whatever messaging he wants to push out. I just saw him retweet yesterday that the biggest problem with racism in America is that we keep acting like racism is a big problem. He tweeted that. As the owner.
Yeah. And 200 million people see it. You gotta see
you
gotta see the bigger play. The bigger play is if I can control the media, because he is the first lady. First buddy of the United States of America. Yeah. But if you run the media and you're able to create a narrative and continue to push it, that's why the moment that Donald Trump became the president, there has never been a president that has so many messages, they were able to do it. And we're not knowing that 200 million people are watching this thing. We're gonna get brainwashed, or they're gonna get brainwashed, and then they're gonna be able to run what they want to do.
So what do we do to make it our own? Because I saw something the other day, and they were saying that by the year 2034, all media as we know it would no longer exist, because it would all be controlled by private entities like the Jeff Bezos, like the Rupert Murdochs, like the Elon Musk. You cannot stop the money. Somewhere that anybody has any type of corporation, I was talking to somebody who owns a lot of radio stations. And when I sent them a joke, I say, hey, don't sell. And they was like, man,
that goes to my point of what I just said, that media is the biggest influencer when it comes to a narrative of what people create and how you program and reprogram a nation. Yes. And so do we back out? No. What we do is we stay in and we use the freedom of speech portion of it, because regardless of what he's controlling, there's still a freedom of speech when it's convenient, and you run the narrative on those platforms. Instagram is also a form of X. And we are all using it as a freedom of speech to, 1, promote our brands, 2, make money, 3, create a narrative of who we are, and we're using it to our benefit when it's convenient. But we need to continue to drive that.
I agree, but to a certain extent, there's only so much that we're going to be able to do. I remember when we had the hashtag say her name, and we were pushing that out. Yeah. Twitter was actually dumbing it down. Like, they weren't letting all the masses see it. So I feel like, how do you continue to push out these narratives and control the narratives when you're not in control of who gets to see the narrative?
Yeah, that's the bigger goal. But money talks and everything else walks. Right. So when you get these entities, so here go the thing. I'm going to just say it in a small microcosm because I know this is very, very fast. If I got a book that I want to sell for $10, I know how much money I'm about to spend on Facebook to make sure I turn it into 20.
Right.
So when you're doing that, you're going to have to spend that money. So here's the thing. These organizations who are mysteriously getting $500,000 from presidential candidates, we got to make sure that you use that money to make sure that you are now focusing on the media.
Yeah.
A lot of times we still focusing on marching. We ain't got time to march. Media is where it is. So when you get these big endowments, you got to say, what message are we pushing? How are we going to get it out? And how much money are we going to invest in it? As African-American people, we cannot be the people that's focused on the hashtag. We're going to have to cut a check. Nobody cares about nothing else but that check. They're not going to let you do it organically because they run it. But when you put that money down, they don't have no cover.
But we're seeing the same thing happen with people who have considered themselves to be brands have been flopping left and right. Jay-Z went out and tried to invest in this cannabis company, and they're talking about he may have lost $50 million. You know, LeBron James went out with Maverick Carter, and they invested in something, and they talking about losing 10, 20, 30, $40 million. And because they thinking the landscape has now changed, people, they care what you do, but they don't care what you're doing.
Come on, that's the point. And that's why I said I am all for it, because I have built my brand and my company on these platforms. And it has made me a whole hell of a lot of money. And so I'm going to keep using it to create the narrative. They can control what they want to control, and I'm going to create and control what I can and continue to monetize on that. And as well as my Dr. Brian Foundation is on there. You know how much money we've raised for programs in the inner city for kids to have resources? I don't care what Elon Musk is controlling over here. I'm controlling this over here, and this is working for me here. That ain't my business. I'm good.
I mean, today was National Gives Day, right?
Yeah.
For nonprofits.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was no way for me to get my messaging out other than on social media platforms. I could do all the programs and all the Save the Kids and everything else, but went on there and I posted it and I put it in my story and people started sharing it. I raised money. I'm staying.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I'll be
I'm
honest.
making my coin or two or
I
three.
want to set up an entity that doesn't require social media.
Me
An
too.
entity that doesn't require all of that.
Is that possible?
Good luck.
It is possible with a plan, in my opinion. So when you're looking at the numbers, just total numerics, it's like what type of opportunities can you create for these people to deem you that important to bring them back into your ecosystem? Here's the thing, it's all about your numbers. Like some people have home run swings that require 100,000 people or 1 million people.
Right.
Some people's home run swing is getting 100 people to spend $1,000 every single month. So I think really determining what your business model is going to be the most important thing. But I do believe right now, as African American people and all people in that right, if you do not have the money to go in there to go in there and spend that money and be a real entity. When we say we are entity, it's us against Walmart, Target, and the rest of them. We don't think we doing mom and pop business. So if Walmart's spending $2.5 million, we're sitting at the table saying, how can we be just as fluent as they are? And so, you know, that's what we have to do, but we want our own. We want our own people.
When you get ready to have that meeting to figure out what the entity is, I want to be there because I too, even though I did grow my brand on social media, I know that it is tiring. It is only so much you can do. You're still beating algorithms, and at the end of the day, if Elon Musk and whoever, I forgot the guy name that owns Instagram and Facebook, if they pull the plug, then we all SOL. So it's like Zuckerberg, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, if they decide to pull the plug, then what, our businesses and brands collapse? I want to definitely create something that stands on its own.
We got about 36 months.
But a person who creates a brand that's bigger than their platform on social media, once that thing pulls, it doesn't collapse. I've been in private practice for a long time. I have partnerships, I have collaborations that are not going to collapse because of social media collapsing, because my brand is bigger than that, which your brand is and will continue to be as well. But also, there's a toxicity that can come with it, right? Where you have people on there who are being traumatized. You got people who have to back off of it because they're being cyber bullied. You got people who have actually had suicidal ideations and have committed suicide because they're on social media being trolled about their weight, about trauma, about death. It increases anxiety. And so when you think of it from that perspective, that's a narrative I would like us to help shift. Not that we can, but shift. But that's why on my page, I try to keep it positive. I try to keep tips and tools on how you deal with anxiety, how you deal with suicide, how you deal with these things. Because social media and cyberbullying is real. And it happens more on the cyber level than it does even sometimes in person in the schools. Yeah.
So let's be real. Black Twitter didn't start on Twitter. It started in barbershop debates, church basements, kitchen tables. So do we stay and fight or leave and build one thing's for sure? Black voices aren't going silent anytime soon.
They never will.
We'll always show up and shift the culture.
Yeah.
The black voice is never leaving.
The black
It has
voice
always
never
been
leaves.
here.
Yeah.
It's present. It's always the first voice, the middle voice, and the last voice. They don't have to say that, but it is. Every room, our football field or athletic space we step into, from the church room to the boardroom to everything.
Absolutely.
We tend to take over, period. And so why do they have to control certain things? Because they know that we will dominate and possess as God has told us to do.
Up
Dominate
next,
and possess.
we got to dive deep into Savior Man syndrome
Ooh, Lord have
and
mercy.
broken women. So keep it right here to Truth Talks.
Lord have mercy.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I wonder if you know that I want the best for you. But how long will you fight solo? I wonder if you know that we can get help. Not wondering anymore. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
And we're back on Truth Talks. Come on in, take a seat, take your shoes off. Now, I know we said we're going to come back to talk about Savior Man syndrome, but the truth is that it's simply a man being what we more commonly known as Captain Saver, with a more sophisticated title. A garden tool, a 304, however you want to put it together, you know what it is.
Don't save
Take
her.
a look and let's get real with it.
This about men. Let me talk to my for a second. Fellas, this idea that you have to have a plan and a way, say that plan and way for a woman who already on her way somewhere, cuz. Y'all be too cool carrying dead weight and justifying it off you being a man. Y'all too cool with women who ain't got for you eating off your plate just because you got a plate to provide. And then you the nigga that's complaining 15, 20 years later about how women don't appreciate this. No, you got with a woman that was never grateful. She was needy. You got with a woman who needed it, and you happen to be, my G. You happen to be. That don't make you no solid dude. That don't make you no stand up. That make you just like these women we be talking about that don't got no boundaries, fam.
So Dr. B, you were sitting there.
Yeah, you were sitting there.
You were sitting there. What were your thoughts?
I was on that tour. You know, Trip is my boy. Trip, he's spitting a lot of gems. There's a lot of things we agree on. And it's really fun when you see Trip and I go against each other because it's two strong personalities. I think that he's onto something, but to add to that, there's just a lot of men who can't handle a together woman. And so what they will do is prey on the low-functioning woman who's not together because two things, it's not within their capacity to facilitate her, and they also are low-functioning like her, so they can't hang with a high-functioning woman. And so some men have a plan for the women who are low-bearing fruit, who have no plan. All you gotta do is pick her up and tell her where to go. And you got other men who can't deal with a woman who's high-bearing, who has a plan, because his plan has to match or precede hers, right? And so, yeah.
So look, like I seen it, and I might even done it a time or two. You know, men swoop in and they rescue a woman and it makes you feel like a hero. It's less about her It's more like stroking your own ego, but it doesn't always feel like that at the time. You know, the truth is, I remember when I initially met my former wife, of course, she had an amazing job. She was doing really well. Of course, I was on the road doing my thing, but I asked her early in the marriage, I said, hey, what would your dream life be like? She was like, I would love to be at home, taking care of the children, doing this, this, and this. And so I put my cape on. This is what we're going to do. You gave me the vision. It took about 5 years, and then I was able to tell her, hey, you don't have to work anymore, and it's going to be good, and everything's going to be good. But I don't think we both understood that with me being the hero, there were some dreams that were omitted out of her.
No doubt.
She did go to school. She did get her degree. She did do all of that. And me being a superhero, I wasn't humble enough to say, yeah, well, you know, I would always say, well, you can go do whatever you want to do, and it's all good. But the truth is, I realized sometimes being a superhero is not good when you also have a woman who have vision. So what I've been telling men throughout the country, I say, guys, listen, at the end of the day, it's always good to have a vision, but make sure that you don't forget her vision inside of your vision. Because that was my biggest mistake. And then later on, I realized at the end of it, she was like, I never wanted to do that.
Yeah, Willie,
But I didn't want to disappoint you.
Right, you mentioned when you got with her, you put your cape on. I just want to correct you really quick. You can't captain save your wife.
Yeah.
That's called being a husband.
Yeah.
So captain save a 304 is for a girlfriend. You had a wife. There was no cape. You were being a husband. You were covering her. You did what you were supposed to do. So I just want to make that correction for men out there. You're not captain saving your wife. You're being a husband.
But we
so I
call
want
it
to
Superman.
reword that.
So we call it
but
what my
even
counselor
that,
says, he said you wanted to be Superman.
in a partnership,
And that was the problem.
In a partnership, there's not a Superman without a Superwoman.
Right.
And so she was a Superwoman to allow you to be in that space of being a husband, and you were the Superman too. So there is no captain save her or you Supermaning anything for her. That was your wife. So I just want to make that very clear.
Different because in my former marriage, you know, we got married in the year 2000. The first child was born in November of 2001. The second child was born in September of 2003. So there was no honeymoon phase. We had 2 kids within the first 2 years. But the problem was that we never got a chance to explore being husband and wife because we all of a sudden became parents. And when the child went to daycare and he missed his, she missed his first step, she was like, man, I'm out here working and I'm missing these steps. And I was like, you know what? You should come home and raise these babies, and I've got it. And that was the worst thing that I could have done because once she started doing all those things, she lost sight of herself. And then we started working together on my nonprofit. And anybody who works in the business aspect, there's no way to balance being a husband and a business partner. It is a crash and a clash, and it was an appetite for destruction.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that, Ryan.
Yeah, me too. But what if we're really keeping it real? Don't y'all feel like the women play into this sometimes? Like, why wouldn't they use this to their advantage? Because I thought there's this old saying, like, be a damsel in distress. And this is what men actually want. Like, men, I thought, needed to feel needed. So it's like you said, I've been in both situations where it's like, do you be needed and make the man, do you be needy and make the man feel needed so that it strokes his ego and then you get what you want? Or when I'm in the position where as a working woman I can provide for myself, then you meet men who don't really want to help or be a provider. So it's like, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. How do you go about doing
I
this?
never met women like that. That was never I wanted somebody that could be equally with me, and we had goals together to try to elevate and dominate and separate. It was very simple. Elevate, dominate, and separate. But you have to be a subscribing member and like and subscribe to the Ryan Cameron business.
Well, isn't this like women just using that game of play a damsel in distress, stroke his ego, make him feel needed to big up?
Yeah, there's lots of women that do that.
So Bree, let me say this, right? Because both of us are what I'm about to say, but I'm a powerful woman. I do well for myself. I own real estate, right? And so I'm educated and so forth. For me, when I've been engaged to my ex-fiance, and I was already these things when I got with him, he as well was doing his thing. For him, it was important for him to provide for me. Right. And so in those moments, I let him provide for me. And for me, it was important for me to serve him. And so in that relationship, he allowed me to serve him. There was conduciveness there and compatibility because he wanted to be served and I wanted to be provided for. But I didn't have to stop my businesses. He asked me to, and I shut my practice down. So I can be a kept, full, taken care of woman. So what I'm saying is that to your question of does a woman have to act like she needs him? I didn't ask. I found things in him that I really needed. And so I'm looking for a man that I can actually need. And needing isn't always financial. Needing sometimes is companionship, or it is emotional support, or it's the re-up or the build-up or the empowerment. And so that's why I say men choose different women at the level of their capacity and their bandwidth of what they can handle. A man who wants a woman that they have to save wouldn't choose me. A man who wants a woman, like Ryan said, who wants a partner, who wants to pour into me, who wants a strong woman, who knows how to be a hybrid, I'm going to submit to him, but I'm also still alpha in the boardroom, and he's turned on by that alpha, but he's turned on when I come home and I'm saying, Daddy, he's the one who's going to choose me. So I will be choosing a man who says, there's a power couple here, but Shy lets me be the king. She lets me be the man in this house. She strokes my ego in a way that says, Daddy, I love you, I'm submissive.
Well, who is the broken woman? Who is that? Because we're talking about broken women. We're not, y'all are very intimidating. I mean, and I work with y'all every day. And I'm serious, but I'm saying, like, for a man who's sitting at home watching this right now, knowing that what y'all come with, it would be hard for some regular guy to be like, yo, do I even stand a chance? Am I going to outkick my coverage? But for the broken women that are out there, what is it that they prey on? What is it that these give us your clinical characteristics of these?
Are they smart? That's what I'm saying.
So I think I like that. I like that, Bree. Not to agree with you, because I disagree with you. But there are two sides of it, right? I'm gonna explain the
Give
side
me both sides of the coin.
You explain the side where whatever they're talking about, they playing the role. I'm explaining the side where you got a woman who is abandoned, who got daddy issues, and some women even have mommy issues. You got women who are in a space of despair and brokenness, and they're coming from a place of lack, saying, this is all that I get, and this is all the type of man that I know, and I never had a man do anything for me or save me. That type of woman is saying, any man that comes up and carries my cross is a man who I want to go to the cross to be resurrected with. What she doesn't understand is, like Jesus, when he got to the cross, he had to resurrect himself after he was nailed to the cross. No one can do that for you. So no man comes in and creates or makes or saves a woman. He may aid and help and assist, but a woman who's broken is broken even after he tries to save. That woman has to save herself before you know how to save her. That doesn't work like that.
But I don't think every woman is a career woman, or every woman is going to be, or going to be an entrepreneur.
There you go.
There are some women out there, and I have some friends who have always had a man pay all their bills, take care of them, and they do cook. They might not do nothing else that day, but they cook that man. They might not. They done cook that man 3 meals a day. They go chit chat on the phone. They are, and they're stroking, and I'm like, and I commend them, because I'm like, wow, you're more of a woman than I can ever be, because I don't think I could completely serve a man and give my entire life where my entire world and day revolves around him. I commend that. So it's like, I don't think that they're broken. I think they found a way to make the system work for them.
So they done crack the code.
But I want to say, Bree, I want to say this. Don't say you can't do it. I'm not telling you to try it till you try it, because I was that powerhouse woman I am now. I gave up all that and made him my world and served him. And I'm telling you right now, that was the most attractive and turned on by myself that I was serving that man. That man being my world fulfilled me just as much as my career does now, being powerful. And so for me, although I'm emotionally intelligent and I have more of a balance, I'm telling you that I didn't understand that either until I got in that role. And the only reason why I said I'll try it was I was like, I'm marrying this man. He has the capacity to do what he's asking me to do, so I'm gonna try it. When I tried it, Bree, sex became better. My intimacy became better. Me as a woman matured. That man became better. That man,
you should have married his ass.
Girl, hold on. We ain't talking about that. But I'm trying to say, Bree, that I was still powerful, making money, and still serving his ass. And I love every bit of it.
It's one thing that we not really focusing on. What you are seeing is a man who sees a woman who fits the need of what his purpose or his goals may be. Okay. Like, there are a lot of men out there who like, okay, what does it help me? Especially when you get over about 35 or 40, it ain't about the big booty and ain't about all that. It's about what does she, like, what part of my role does she play? Like, how does she fit into this puzzle? So if it is cooking, cleaning, making sure it's okay, it's really tough to have 45 different entities and all these people, and you come home and you like, I still got to clean up, I still got to cook, I still got to do this, and you have a woman there to be able to take that. And here's the thing, I also want to tell you this, fellas, there is not a woman who's making millions of dollars who don't want you to take something off her plate.
Oh, come on.
She gets tired. She gets really tired.
Baby, I'm successful. I still want to be taken care of.
So even a woman like Dr. B, successful,
doing
what she got to do. A woman like Bree, successful, doing what she got to do. If you can come in and take some of that weight off of her, she like, yo, like that would be so much easier, and then give her room and space to create.
God, you gonna make me drop to my knees.
But this ain't nothing new. This ain't nothing new. It goes back to government assistance, right? We had whole apartment complex.
No, you're right.
Whole government complex. Everybody in there was on paying low rent, and they taught their children how to pay low rent. They got the government assistance, and they all were on WIC, and they took advantage of. I remember one time a relative of mine had 2 baby daddies. Neither one of them was a father, but they was getting child support from both of them and never letting anybody know what the other. They've been teaching game since day one, so I ain't none of this is new. It's always been out there, but now it's been recreated, and now there are women who are now 35, 45-year-old grandmothers who are sitting back saying, work.
Yeah.
Man, listen.
Wait, I want to say something. Wait,
no,
to your point, Willie, to your point. That's why they say that PUSSY is a broke man's disease. Because when he's chasing that, he ain't chasing money. When he's chasing that, he loses. To your point, when you get that one woman that can tee you up, you can tee everything else up for her in that house.
So just real quick, my granddaddy's 83 years old. He marries a woman who's 47 years old. Everybody's in the uproar. He sits down and he says, do you think I want somebody that I have to take care of? You worried about my money. I'm worried about my comfort and what I need at 83 years young. She loves me. I love her, so we get married. And I still love that woman to this day. Because she took good care of that man.
Lord.
And there you go, Pop. There you go, Pop.
And they had pills for what
okay,
he needed to do.
Some men don't know how to handle a woman that has her stuff together.
True.
It's easy to show up for some woman that's broken and has issues. So take a look at this clip.
Like a lot of people are too lazy to deal with a healed person, right? Because if I'm dealing with somebody that's broken, then I can show up and give bare minimum and still be held up on a pedestal, right? Because you don't know no better. Right, you ain't never had better. So if I'm showing up giving bare minimum, doing things like opening doors and pulling out chairs, I'm looked at as, oh my God, he's just this incredible man. You see what I'm saying? But if I date somebody that's healed, that type ain't gonna impress them because they're used to that. You see what I'm saying? So now I gotta really focus on being considerate. I gotta really be consistent. I gotta show up. I gotta do the things that a man is supposed to do, communication being one of them. And I'm too lazy to do that. So I'm gonna stay away from the healed person, and I'm gonna deal with the broken people that I can be a hero to.
And this is what I talk about when I'm talking about the importance of fathers being in our lives, okay? Because I had a daddy who did all that. My expectations were actually too high. But I'd rather have them too high and I have to dummy them down than have them too low, and I end up in situations where I'm with men who would give me just the bare minimum, and I'm okay with that.
All right, we got more when we come back, all right? You know, because it's just getting started. At the end of the day, it's always easier to play hero in the chaos than to show up whole and ready to love another person who is whole. So stick around, because up next, men choosing broken over balanced and what it says about them when we come back on Truth Talks.
Yep.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
I know you're going through a lot. I wonder if you know that we can get help. Let's see how far we can go. Love, your mind.
All right, welcome back. Now, we just touched on how men find it easier to step in and save a broken or needy woman rather than stand with a healed one. But here's the real question. Why are men choosing chaos over calm? Is it about love, control, or avoiding their own reflection? Willie Moore Jr.
I think the truth is we left one thing out, winning, right? Ever since we were young boys, we learned how to win. If you score a touchdown, hooray. Baseball, home run, hooray.
Right.
We get so used to the cheers, and when you get with a high-functioning woman who doesn't cheer as easily, it's easier to go with a woman who may cheer for the smaller things that you do, as the man alluded to earlier, opening up the door, taking them out to eat to, kind of cool restaurants. But if you really want a woman who's going to fulfill the bigger purpose, I believe if you focus on the immediate, you will miss the ultimate. So I'm challenging men to look into the ultimate. Where do you see yourself? And then once you have your purpose, bring something into your future and not get so boggled down by your present moment, because that's why you do it.
I think that also it's a lot of men who are doing, not all, but some, all they have to offer is money. So they aren't going to come with emotional intelligence. They aren't going to come and be supportive. They don't want to cheer for their woman to be the winner either. So they're going to choose a woman who all they need is money, because all they have to offer is money. So they going to attract that type of woman. And then, like you said, their ego can't fathom them having to root for her or put her up in a situation where she can win.
That's good, Bree, but let's keep it real. Some guys feel intimidated by women that may be successful in what they're doing, and they may be strong in their opinions, and that may be really, really tough for them. My bigger thoughts are, like, how do you work with a woman? There's no such thing as a good woman or a bad woman. I think that women are all beautiful and they can be worked with, but I want you to take a look at this amazing video.
I feel like a lot of good women get done wrong because us as men don't deal with the trauma from our childhood. We don't deal with the trauma from our past relationships. We don't outgrow the mindset that was instilled in us, or a majority of us, when we were younger. A man will change when he's ready to become a good man.
Come on.
Because even when I look at our relationship, you have always been the right woman. You have always been a good woman. But in the beginning, I was blinded by my immaturity that I couldn't see everything that you brought to the table.
First of all, high-functioning women do empower their men. That's what makes her high-functioning. She's emotionally intelligent enough to do that. Second of all, I love that this man said, as a man, because I've been saying it as a woman, and women are going crazy about it because it's true. A man changes when he's ready to change.
Right.
There's no such thing as a good woman who could be good enough to change a man. It doesn't work like that. You have to learn to choose men who you want to be with, who are already the change you want them to be, and not the potential that you're trying to wait for them to grow into, because many times potential stays potential. Choose that. And that's a fact. I love that.
I think that one of the things that I've learned about going through mental health and therapy is, and I'll be the first to apologize, I really feel sorry for the fact that my former spouse could not have the man that I am today. And because when I was that other guy, I wasn't the greatest guy. I didn't know all about the traumas and the things that I had gone through. And now I have become that guy, and I'm really, I regret that.
We love a healed man.
That's good.
Kudos for the healed king.
Good job, Ryan.
Yes, go ahead,
So
Ryan.
at the end of the day, saving someone isn't love. It's an ego trip if it's not mutual. So let's stop playing heroes and start building partnerships.
Yes.
Leave the capes at home. Fellas, up next, we got Hit It or Quit It on True Talks.
Yes. That was so beautiful.
Oh, Ryan.
You're the male version of me. You just have to do this.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School. College first-round draft pick. During the football season, I would stop eating. But I didn't know I was depressed. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father and as a husband. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
As we work to get through these times together, you may not be thinking about blood donation, but blood is needed to save the lives of people who are sick with a range of illnesses. It's easy and safe to give. If you are in good health, please donate. We need heroes now. Visit redcrossblood.org to schedule an appointment.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
All right, welcome back. Now, we couldn't call this show Truth Talks if we weren't candid with our relationship advice, so it's time for a Hit It or Quit It.
Hit it or quit it. We asked our viewers to DM us with questions that they're scared to ask their friends out loud. So check out this one from Anonymous Truth Avenger. He said, my girlfriend and I are having a difficult time in the bedroom. We've been together about 4 months and I don't feel sexually satisfied. The problem is she always wants me to go down on her, and when I ask her to return the favor, she says it's nasty.
Oh, grow up.
I'm trying my best to be patient and wait for her to be ready to partake in oral sex, but I feel like it's never going to happen. What do I do, Truth Talk?
I think you should hit it and communicate. I also think she needs to grow up. You're in an adult relationship, and don't gaslight him if this man, at some point, y'all end up marrying, and years down the road, he steps out and he finds that peace after he communicates with you, because you're in a relationship to love your partner based on how they need to be loved and satisfy them based on what satisfies them, not based on what you want to give them. Now, if it was something where she said religiously or health-wise she couldn't do it, I understand. But if that's not it, girl, you better get down. Ryan, what you call it? Don't play with me, Ryan.
Well, listen.
I say maybe.
We talking about the cobra.
The cobra.
The cobra. Well, listen, we can talk about trips. We can talk about vacations. We can talk about food. You have got to have honest sexual conversations with your potential partner. What do you like? What don't you like? Because 4 months ago, before they got horizontal, somebody should have said, you know, I really like oral sex. And she'd be like, ugh, that's nasty. That should have been your cue to go on to somebody who likes to do what you like. You should have quit it instead of waiting 4 months and think, she's doing me wrong.
How do you bring that without coming off as a creep?
That's true.
Like, no, how does this conversation go?
These are adult conversations.
Like, so what type of, this how you do it. Let me tell you. You start off by saying, like, what's your fantasies? Like, you see what they like. What kind of sex you into?
But Bria, if they ask you that too soon, isn't that too soon for a man?
Nah, if you've been dating, if they already having sex. They're already.
Don't say booty hole.
No, but I'm saying it's not too soon to have this conversation if you're already laid
You're
down.
adults.
Yeah, you're already
having sex.
Absolutely. So you go ahead and ask, what's your fantasies? What things do you like? What really gets you going? You know what I like? I really like oral. How you feel about that? Well, I think it's nasty. Okay, well, we're going to have to work on it, baby. How can I make it fun for you? Let's try it. Let me teabag you. Let's do it from the back. Like, let's see.
No, just 4 months later. So let me say this. To my bro, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I know that's got to be tough. Number one, fall in love with the oral. Okay, you fall in love with it, and things will be okay. But I do want you to just kind of ask what's nasty about it.
Well, let me say
and
this.
What's so what's nasty about it? Communicate it, because it may be, you know, you might not smell the right way. Maybe it's manscaping. Wow. It's a lot of things that go on like that we don't talk about. A lot of men don't actually take care of their hygiene the way they're supposed to, because we think, oh, that's feminine to cut the hair off and all that other stuff.
And now you walk around smelling like the booty hole.
Exactly. So you got to ask, like, so when she says it's nasty, don't take offense, because listen, men gonna make it happen, boys gonna make excuses.
But let me say this,
but if you ask the conversation and you have a conversation with her, I think you can get to a happy medium.
But let me say this, as a woman who had this issue, in my earlier first engagement in my 20s, I was oh my God, I don't know if I really want to do this. And then all of a sudden I said, I gotta mature, we're getting married, this is my man. I said, okay, baby, look, tell me exactly how you like it and how you want it. First, he said he don't like it either because it wasn't done right. When he showed me exactly how he liked it, how he wanted, I used to be in school in my sophomore year of college. He texted me and say, when you get home, can I get some? And I say, hell yeah. Because at that point, we communicated. We learned each other. It became satisfying to him. I become satisfied by doing it because it's satisfying. And there's a vulnerability and an intimacy that takes place where I couldn't wait to get home and he couldn't wait for me to get home to.
Right.
And it was a perfect freaking marriage.
The doors of the church are open on behalf.
Well, I know what church. That's the book of Luke
we
y'all talking
gonna
about.
be praying for her.
What y'all talking about? Listen,
Make
man.
it fun.
Pray for her.
Finger
You gotta
paint
have
on
a
it.
conversation. We're all adults. If you are grown enough to lay down and put your hot dog into a hamburger bun, then you need to have a conversation about it.
Ryan, he should wrap it up. He should wrap it up with a fruit roll-up.
No,
wrap it with a fruit roll-up and let her suck the fruit roll-up off of it. That's gonna be sweet and fun and kinky.
The voice
And with a Listerine strip.
You get what I'm saying? It's gonna taste good. I bet you she ain't gonna say it's nasty.
It all depends on how she was indoctrinated into that.
But there's
She might have had a bad experience and something went wrong, or somebody might have did something to that point. You talking about sexual trauma? Who knows? Somebody might have forced her to do something she didn't want to do.
That's why
and
the
all of a sudden she don't want to do it no more.
That's why the
I said,
conversation is necessary.
If it's a health condition, meaning mental health, or it is a religious, I understand. But when you get with a person and you don't tell them that 4 months before, then, you got to have that conversation.
Talk about it.
That's all the time we have for
Spice it
tonight.
up.
Be sure to follow us on all of our social media pages. And you got to go, as they always say on YouTube, like and subscribe.
Comment.
To all the comments, because we would love to hear what you have to say, all right? We talk to you again on True Talks.
Let's
Good
try
night.
the fruit roll-up.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Good night.
Fruit roll-up.
That's good.
Put this out of honeymoon.